All right, let's talk a little Baker Mayfield playing great football. And to me, what always separates good quarterbacks from great quarterbacks is the ability to make consistently the second level chunk throws. 15 to 35-yard throws, not the deep ones. Most guys at the NFL should be able to do that. Not the quick ones. Most guys should be able to do that. The guys that can consistently make the chunk throws are, to me, the best quarterbacks and the guys that separate themselves at the NFL level. Baker Mayfield doing this as well as anybody. Here, they're actually going to run a naked bootleg to his left side. So obviously away from his strong hand. Going left, they're going to run deep corner, and then a corner route right here, and then their crossers coming here. They got nothing in the flat for them, which you normally have on a naked bootleg. They're not doing that. They're chopping the extra guy there, so it's just Baker and all these throws down the field. And then he gets pressure in his face right here. But we always tell quarterbacks is what you have to be able to do when you're going left is flip your hips and get your hips parallel to the line of scrimmage or parallel to your throw to be able to create the power you need to make this throw. You can't do that. A lot of guys struggle to do that. They're going to try to make this throw without their hips. They're never going to be able to make it. But watch Baker here. Flip the hips. Look how quickly. Flip the hips, guy in my face, and the ability to make that second level chunk throw, 20-plus yard play right there where it's a throwaway for most people. All right, coming back here with the motion. Okay, and so they're going to run basically a play here where they run a seam. Okay, and then they're going to come off of it with a Buka over here, and he's going to run an out and an up. So I like this play because ultimately what you're trying to do is 2-on-1 a safety or a DB over to that side. And I like it because these guys are on two different levels. Okay, so you get the seam going through there first. So you're hoping that because he's ahead of this out and up, he takes the deep coverage because it happens first. This guy can't really midline both of these guys because they're not at the same depth. If they're at the same depth, I can kind of sit in between them and make it a little harder on the quarterback and try to play both. So I like that concept right there. Actually becomes this guy out here. Chance to take the seam right there in between the free safety, but you're trying to get him to run as you fall off, as you kind of break out and then come up here. But look at this. I mean, this guy chases the first one, but he's slowing down and ready to turn back on the second one. We've got an underneath cover guy right here. You see the ball is already released by Baker, which probably has to be. But, I mean, look at this small window right here. And I'm not sure what he's seeing to let it go right here. I know he's thinking this guy's going to continue to run, but that guy, there's not a lot of space in there. But these are the difference-making throws. Great job by Ibuka to settle in the window. But goodness gracious, great throw, great timing. Boom, another chunk throw. And he makes these things look easy. All right, another tough concept. We're going to go down the seam, and then we're going to go with the deep corner route. And then off of that, we've got the big in right here. Love the big in throw. We clear it all out. We never really get anything out here. Would love to have White to be out here to high-low this defender, but he stays tucked inside. So now we've got this element. Our in actually goes outside of the corner, which is another element I don't really like because of leverage, yet still. Here's the look that Baker has as he's releasing this football. Is his in route, I don't know where it ends up here, but maybe 5 yards deeper than that defender that you have to throw this ball over the top of. Doesn't matter. Confident, great up and over, timing right on the money. It's another one of those where if you're off just a little bit, right? I threw a million of these in my career and a great wide receivers. But you let this thing go, and if this guy stumbles out of his break just a little bit, I want you to watch this. This safety's coming, and he's probably thinking, oh, I got myself a pick right here. I'm waiting for this football. It's coming right to me. If the receiver doesn't get exactly where he's supposed to be and make this catch. Great timing element. Great catch right there to extend out and make that. And again, we're seeing big time plays. And I can't tell you how tough it is on an offense when you don't get the chunk plays, right? When you have to drive the football down the field is one of the hardest things to do for any quarterback, especially at the highest level, without making a mistake. And so it's really, really tough. So these chunk throws are difference-making throws in a game. They change the complexion. They change field position. I mean, come on now. This is awesome. Double post combination. Same play they hit against Atlanta to come back and win that football game. I mean, double post. We're going to read this safety right here. It's tight, right? It's not a throw I can throw 50 yards. We're on the 30-yard line. This ball's got to get up and down. Got to get my read. I got to put enough velocity on the football to get it there in a timely fashion. I got to put enough air on it to get it up and over the top of the safeties and second-level players. So we're going to read that safety right there. Boom, right there. That's all I need. Once I get those hips turned to the inside, this throw has got to be let go. And like I said, it's got to go up and over the top, but it's got to have enough velocity to be able to stick on his guy. If he waits, the corner from the outside is going to knock this thing down. So you need it to be firm, yet soft. I mean, come on, people. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Great read, great throw, right on the money. Yeah, I just threw this one on here. Not really a chunk play, but you guys hear me all the time. Have a pressure plan. Have a pressure plan. Have a pressure plan. Who's my hot? This guy's my hot. Baker knows it. Boom. This guy comes off the edge. He has a plan. What am I doing? Oh, bang. There's my quick throw. I'm ready for it. I know I'm hot. Bang. Just replace the pressure. It's not a chunk throw, but it's a big-time first down throw right here as he sees the pressure. He replaces the pressure and has a plan. I mean, just a monster throw right here. So this looked like a designed play. And so playing against Seattle, and Seattle playing kind of a quarters look over here. I don't know if this is a press quarters or even a half over to this side. But the goal is we're going to come off, and we've got this little nod post or nod go route over here. And I'm going to read this backside safety. If this backside safety does what we call a push, okay, pushes to the front side because we've got our three receivers over here and actually put our back over there, so we're in a four-strong situation. If I can get this guy to push to the strong side to play those four receivers, I'm taking my one-on-one to the backside. If not, I'll stay front side. There it is. He's looking at him right there. Gets him to move. See, there he comes. He's coming. Now we got our double move right here. But Baker's throwing this from, who knows, 33-yard line, 32-yard line. Lands on, let's say, the 5-yard line from the 30, whatever that is, 45, 55, 60, some yards in the air. I mean, just a big-time throw. And again, this is one of those plays that you just have to ask yourself, how many of these guys, how many quarterbacks can throw this if we're going to do this? Where you've got to work the guy to the strong side and then make a couple hitches and still be able to throw this nod post out there. Not many, but Baker is one of them. And again, right on the money. I mean, right on the money from 60 yards. I don't know if anybody understands how tough that is. And you're seeing him do these kinds of things on a consistent basis. Love this one right here. I'm going to come out. We've got what I call, well, it's a Poco concept, but they're going to run a nod post or a corner post there and back here, okay, and then they're going to go to the flat. So we're looking over here. We really want a corner off look. Seattle's going to roll to a cover 2 look right here. Not our favorite play against cover 2. Can still read this defender, and it would probably take us to the flat over here. But we see cover 2. I just love the reaction. See cover 2. Don't want to read it there. I'm going to work to the backside in route, which is something that I like better. A lot of times you put a hook route underneath it, and you're going to work that wheel linebacker who's there bringing pressure right now, which is another thing. Recognition of interior pressure. Okay, interior pressure, and they're running back to a cover 2. It sometimes can be a tough look for a quarterback, but he knows, hey, interior pressure. Let's replace the interior pressure. Boom. Easy. Playing the game. Seeing the game. Making another big-time throw. Another 20-plus yard play. Here we go. Okay, so this is kind of what I was talking about with the little wrap play and the hook underneath it. Going to move this guy this side. Going to have a high-low right here. There it is. Work the guy. See the eyes? Eyes right there. Eyes start here. We'll get him to move that direction. That's all I need. I'm going to throw this before the backside hash. So I just need to get him moving, turn those hips in that direction, and I'm going to have what I want. Then I'm back. Boom. Stick that back foot. Hit it. Right outside the hash. Right on the money. Keep his guy rolling. Chunk, chunk, chunk. All right, let's finish here. Okay. Doesn't have what he wants right away. Looking for this quick post right here. But they're playing kind of a cop situation right here. This guy's stealing anything in the middle. Don't like it. I'm going to buy some time. And again, I just want you to see this. He's moving. Okay. He's moving on a dead sprint, eyes down the field. Okay. And Abuka's going to separate right here. I want you to watch how quickly he has the ability to turn his hips, rip it. Come on. Turn his hips, rip it, 25-yard throw, small window in the red zone. Bang. Touchdown. And again, something that helps to set them up for the big win, the come from behind win in Seattle. Just a big time throw, and you're seeing it over and over from Baker Mayfield, and why he's probably the front runner for the MVP right now.